this is Adrienne from Devil's Trumpet. Today I'm going to talk about bringing home a new spirit companion. In this presentation I'll be talking about the first day, the do's and don'ts, introduction to the home, introduction to the family or pets, your house rules, the spirit space, spirit offerings, bonding, vessel care and spirit care. The first day, the do's. Treat them like you would treat any new guest in your home. Be polite. No one wants to enter a home where they feel they are not welcome. Make sure you have your house rules ready if you have chosen to use them. Gather any other spirits you may have in your keep to attend the arrival. Make sure you are prepared at least 2 days before the vessel arrives. Most spirits will arrive before you receive their vessel in the parcel, but it's always best to have everything ready for the arrival ritual. So have a bowl or cup of water ready. You'll see this in most ancestral rites where people leave out water and cups of other items on their spirit altar. Do a little cleaning beforehand, so make sure the space where you will keep your spirits is tidy and is spiritually clean. The first day, the don'ts. Never just leave your package unattended on the countertop or bench with the intention of opening it later. Do not just leave and not introduce yourself after you have opened the package. When you introduce yourself, you can do this using telepathy. So what I mean by telepathy is in mind. Number 3, never place the vessel in water or leave it in a perishable place with the intention of charging. Charging can be done in a safer, more beneficial way to the vessel, and some stones will dissolve in water. Never expect your companion to just show itself to you physically. This is an unrealistic way of thinking in spirit keeping, so please don't do it. Never expect your companion to do magical favors for you. This is more guaranteed to human companions who have spent many years bonding with an individual and both sides have a trust in each other. Do not throw away your vessel if you do not sense anything. These things take time and it will not happen overnight. Do not threaten or force yourself upon a spirit or entity. Do not ask a vampiric spirit entity to bite you. This is unrealistic. Do not call upon your demonic companion to kill your enemies. This again is unrealistic. If you are doing spirit keeping for the purpose of seeing things physically and for sexual favors, etc., then spirit keeping isn't for you. Introduction to the home. This is done differently with every single person that I know, but this is how I like to teach newbies. When your companion first arrives at the house, introduce them to each room of the house. Be clear as to where they are not welcome. At Devil's Trumpet, we let our keep know that bathrooms and toilets are off limits. With some people, it's also bedrooms. Introduce them to your favourite things, books, TV shows, maybe you draw or play music. Show them around the house and then let them get to know you. Often certain species are curious about certain things in the home. I have had to explain what certain things in the home do in the past, as many species do not share the same technology as we do. For instance, a certain human spirit was quite intrigued by my TV as she had never seen one before. She referred to it as the picture box. It is our understanding that not everyone has been lucky in having an accepting family, and we have heard accounts of family members throwing out vessels and trying to turn their children against their hobby and belief. We have written this next part with those people in mind and want to ensure that it is okay. If you would like to show the vessel to a family member, that's awesome. With the introduction to family, we suggest possibly showing that family member the jewellery, but not divulging that it is haunted. You can then repeat it in your head who the person is to the spirit in the vessel. So if you want to introduce them to your mother or your father, you can show them the vessel, but let the spirit know who that person is telepathically. If your family are more open to spirits and you want to introduce them, go for it. Nothing is really holding you back. Presenting spirits and entities to pets is more simple. Simply find. I say find because you may have cats or dogs on a large property who, like to roam. Tell your companion that this is a friend of yours and tell the entity or spirit name of your animal friend. A lot of animals are sensitive to spirits, so when your spirits are around, you might be able to tell by the behavior of your animals. What are house rules? So house rules are a set of rules for a group of spirit companions. They tell the spirits what is acceptable in the household and what is not. Often house rules describe unwanted behavioural tendencies as well, such as hiding house keys or unwanted physical contact. At Devil's Trumpet, we are not an enforcer of house rules in our store, as we like to see the spirits in a more natural way without limitations. However, we encourage them at home, as most newcomers are not always knowledgeable with personal protection and the protection of others. This is something we encourage everyone to learn before purchasing a companion's vessel. We have actually included a PDF on our website of a set of rules, so they're basic ones. But there's about 30 of them on that list. But some basic ones on here would be respect my privacy, and number 2 would be do not make demands. So ask nicely if there is something that you need. The spirit space. So the spirit space is your companion's own personal house when they are visiting you. It's like a link to the physical plane and you. So the space can have a range of items placed on it, such as cups of water, traditional of ancestral altars in a lot of cultures. I like to place fruit and other food items that don't perish quickly. So little toys, a favourite of young spirits, vessels, images that remind you of them, crystals and other items. So whatever you're called to place there, I guess if you can afford that thing, then it's a good thing to put on the altar. There are a range of styles for spirit spaces as well. For those who need to keep their spirit spaces packed away and hidden, you can use a shoebox or a decorative storage box. Battery-powered candles is something I use on my deity altars. I mean, I don't have to watch them, and they're easy to just leave there. They can be left in the box, on or off. It's your personal choice. But if you cut like decorative holes in the box, it can also act as a nightlight and an entryway for the spirit. Other human companions like to use bedside tables, wall plaques, bookshelves, and even wooden boxes. There are a range of items one can use, and you are not bound to the physical plane either. So what I mean by the physical plane is you can actually have a spirit space on astral ready for your spirit keep. So upon arrival, introduce your companion to their new space and tell them that this place is where you will leave their offerings and go to speak to them. So spirit offerings. Spirit offerings are quite a hot topic amongst spirit keepers. Devil's Trumpet always receives questions regarding what our customers should offer their new companions. Devil's Trumpet leaves a small blurb on all write-ups showing what offering the spirit likes. We offer this as a helpful guide to get started with that being. So how are offerings taken or eaten? Offerings are fed upon in a way that the spirit will take the spiritual energy from the food item only, leaving it in an empty shell. In folklore, the leftovers were said to be toxic and could harm the person or animal who feasted on them. The victim would draw in death, so to speak. However, this is only superstition, and you are free to eat candy left for your companions or any other goods as long as they are, well, not rotting. If the item is an object, then the item is considered a belonging of theirs and should not be moved. Always make sure you state directly who that offering is going to, as other spirits will feast on the energy if you do not reserve it. A simple telepathic message, such as this coffee is for such and no other spirit or entity may use it, the energies from it, is best for this method. The general rule is to offer items that won't perish, rot in heat, or out in the open. And if using food that is hot or items such as ice cream, dedicate a portion to that being and share the item with them. You don't need to leave it on their altar. You can actually eat the majority or dedicate the first bite to them. They can still share the energy with you. If giving blood, your safest option is to do this on astral. Never, I repeat, never cut or harm yourself. To give blood in an astral fashion, imagine yourself pouring a cup of blood from a pitcher and handing it to that spirit. State that it is for them and them only. Do not stress if you do not have the funds for spirit offerings. It is completely okay, and you do not need to feel bad about it at all. The spirit's entities will understand, and a simple cup of water will suffice, or even a handmade item like a drawing of them or any other craft item that you can make. If you are a minor, do not offer alcohol or other vices. So bonding sessions. Bonding is an important stage of the spirit-human relationship and is a lifelong process. When you receive your spirit entity and they are at home with you, this is the first thing you will do. Bonding is not complex, it is not ritualistic or a waste of time. It is your friendship with that spirit or entity. It will allow you to get to know them outside of their write-up and for them to become accustomed to you. It is very important that you carry out bonding at least once a week. You do not bond for 20 to 35 days and then drop the process. So What can I do during bonding? Well, there's a range of things that you can do during bonding. So reading them a book or a short story. I have personally begun a book with my group, and each week we continue until the book is finished. Ask them what they think of the chapter and share your thoughts as well. Watch a movie together. Do a vote on 3 films. So the film with the highest vote is the one that you guys watch first. Go on a walk through a park or natural space. It's always nice to meet others, so a cemetery is always a good option as long as you have the right protection. Play some video games together or have them watch. Get them to choose what happens in roleplay games. Have them choose the clothes you will wear for the week. Do some crafting. Colouring pages work well for this, and it always helps when you can get your spirit companions to pick a colour for a particular area of the colouring page. Play around with some phone apps. There is so many phone apps out there that you can use. Go on a picnic. Wrap up some food and have a picnic in your garden. One of my vampires thoroughly enjoys this, and he always has tea. Let them choose your makeup look. Online shopping. Take them to a family get-together, and there's so many other things you can do with them during bonding. You can even buy them a candle and light it, or do some divination together. So vessel care. How do I care for my vessel? Vessels can be made up of a variety of materials, and it is always best to check with your conjurer what your vessel is made out of. At Devil's Trumpet, physical bindings are placed in either a sterling silver vessel or a stone piece, as other items tend to damage easily, and I don't like knowing that people can buy items from my site and then have them disintegrate over time. I like people to have a permanent thing that I know is going to last. So with easily perishable vessels, we recommend a soft cloth and a little wipe. Keep them out of harsh weather conditions and take them off your fingers or body when you are showering or doing dishes. Sometimes you can use a little dab of Spiritus Vaden's Oleum to keep the vessel well charged and cleansed. So Spiritus Vaden's Oleum is an oil that Devil's Trumpet sells. So that oil has the effect of charging and cleansing the vessel that you use it on, but you only need like a little tiny dab, and then you rub it into your fingers and then massage it into the vessel. So you're not using a whole heap. So for sterling silver vessels, a wipe down with silver polish every 6 to 8 months will keep the tarnish down and keep the item looking shiny and brand new. We recommend either a salt water wipe or a Spiritus Vaden's Oleum massage into the vessel to keep it well fed. The oil will not damage the vessels and will not damage your bindings. None of the products that are sold by Devil's Trumpet will unbind your spirits. For stone-based vessels, a soft wipe will suffice. Be careful using water and salt, as salt can get stuck in stone crevices and water can cause certain stones to have wear and tear. Amethyst can actually fade in sunlight, so we recommend wrapping them in a cloth to protect them from the light. Another thing with stone vessels is make sure you always research the stone and how to look after it, because certain stones, like I said before, can dissolve in water. For wood or bone, use Devil's Trumpet wand polish or bone balm. If a water clean is absolutely necessary, use a purpose cleanser for this, such as Devil's Trumpet cleansing spray, but do not submerge the vessel in water. Only spray 2 on a cloth and wipe any dirt or residue from the vessel. Let the vessel dry out thoroughly on the spirit space. So spirit care. Spirit care is quite simple. Just remember to keep the spirit space tidy, free from dust. Change any altar cloths you may have on the space and wash them every month. Remove ash from incense burners. So if you're using a bowl that you have ash in and you leave your cones and your stick incense in there, make sure that that is cleaned out once a year. Check over vessels to see if there are any visible tarnishes or problems. Clean any cups or saucers from food offerings regularly. If the plates and cups have food only, leave for about 12 hours. If your cup simply contains water, a good wash of dish soap each week will do. So sometimes the water containing bubbles may show negative or positive energy, so be sure to cleanse away the area with salt water, frankincense or smudge sticks, or use Devil's Trumpet cleansing spray. Simply spray into the room to freshen the space. And that is all for today. I hope you loved the video, so give it a like and a subscribe. Thank you.